faithful shall be willing in the day of thy power, in the beauties of holiness. Not the beauties of makeup, in the beauties of holiness. It's not the beauty of worldliness, it is in the beauty of holiness. I want you to imagine, you are going to church and you're spending 1 hour before the mirror. Okay, you say, I don't spend 1 hour before the mirror. I about 30 minutes before the mirror. And then there's another mirror inside your bag. And once in a while, you look at that mirror to see your facial expression. And then to order your hair this way and that way, you look at that mirror more than you look at the Bible. And it says what God is interested in is not the beauty we'll catch on the mirror, it is the beauty of holiness. And if whatever beauty you have, if holiness is not in your heart, God does not recognize that beauty. It says, in the beauties of holiness from the womb of the morning, thou hast the dew of thy youth. Here in verse 14 of Isaiah chapter 33, the sinners in Zion are afraid. Zion? How could there be sinners in Zion? You remember when David committed adultery? Was living in Zion? Was in Zion? And you remember all those people that live around the palace of the king? When he sent them, go and bring that woman. Those who are running errands of defilement, errands of sinfulness. It was living in Zion. There are sinners that may be at the very center of the sanctuary, the hypocrites. If they die in that condition, as sinners in Zion, as sinners in the temple, as sinners in the tabernacle of the Lord, when the judgment of God comes, they'll be afraid. Fearfulness has surprised the hypocrites. Who among us shall dwell with the devouring fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burnings? But now he turns around and he talks about those who are holy and those who are righteous. And he says in verse 15, he that walketh righteously, walketh. It's not something I do it retreat time, and then when I get back home, I go back to my sinful self. Not at all. He that walketh righteously, consistent walking, daily walking, moment by moment walking in righteousness, and speaketh uprightly. Does not say something out and there's nothing in the heart. Does not tell you something and then you are running with that thing, and he's looking at you and shaking his head and saying, I pity the man. Look at what I told him. He didn't know that I just told him that, and he's running already. When a believer tells you something, he says to the believer, you cannot run with it. How about that? It tells you something, you cannot build on it. It tells you something, you cannot stake your life on it. A believer told me this, and I'm willing to stake my life on that. And then the so-called believer is looking at you and shaking his head. He said, this one is dumb. This one is, is senseless, because I told him that he took you for your word. He's such a believer. If you're a believer, you will speak the truth in your mouth. You're not believing in life of expediency.